Hi, Brad. Thank you for coming along today to answer some questions about the 12-week management training. Now, let's get straight into it, Brad. Why is it 12 weeks management training?
No, we've taught here at ActionCoach for quite some time the distinction between management and leadership. And we know that for organizations to do great, they need strong management in their organization. The old axiom of you cannot manage what you do not measure, the 1-minute manager series. Obviously, understanding day-to-day management and getting the competency and productivity into an organization is of vital importance. Now, why 12 weeks? Well, everything that we do takes time. And if we try and do it over a 12-hour training session or a 1-day training session, we know the implementation will be low. So what we've done is created 12 weeks, me teaching for a half an hour every single week. It's all recorded, so the customers of yours can watch it at any time that suits them. And then they come together with you for 1 hour.
Yes, I agree. Thanks for that, Brad. I think we've all been on a training course at some time in our life where we realised that 95% of what we just learned we're never going to use again. We're going to forget by the time we get back to work, and getting the practice in, getting that habitual is going to be really, really powerful. So tell me, who is the 12-week training course, 12-week management training course aimed at? Who is the ideal audience for that training course?
It's aimed at two different groups, really. It can be run internally in one company. Imagine one company has a group of 10, 15, 20 people that they want to put into management training. Then this is a way for them to do that. Okay, so they would learn management with you, all the people inside that company. Preferably run live, where you're in the same room for the facilitation. Obviously, the learning, they do virtual, they do that online. But really, hopefully that way. The second group it's aimed at is all of the other members who have maybe 1 or 2 people that need to learn management.
Okay, brilliant. So actually, who needs to be on the course?
Of course, the owner of the business is going to need to learn management. Every single member will need to do this course. That's what it is. Plus, I guess the leadership one to follow, every single member, if they're the owner, they need to get management and leadership. But as their business grows, they're going to want more and more people to learn management in their organization.
Okay, thanks for that, Brad. So it sounds like, it's going to be all the way down, all the top echelons and right through to middle and lower management needs to be on the training course. I love that. What's the focus of the course? Who needs to be on it and what are they going to learn? What's the focus of the course?
Really talking to them about their execution, what is happening on their management, their competency, their productivity, having those conversations with people about what does the competency of the organization look like? What's the consistency factor? And if they're not doing daily plans, weekly plans, if they're not doing lions and frogs, if they're not doing quarterly planning, if they're not doing the basics of proactive management versus reactive management, if they still believe in my door is always open, and if they're not measuring people's jobs, if they're not, if all of that stuff is missing, in other words, they're below the point, if they've still got denial, if they've still got the blame, if they've still got excuses, they need the management training program. It's no more complex than that.
Okay, thanks, Brad. Yeah, that's brilliant. I suppose more specifically, what happens in the session?
But every single week they're going to be accountable for their homework, and that's one of the things that's a big part of your facilitation, making sure they've implemented, making sure they're doing what is being taught in the session, and they're accountable to you, they're accountable to the group of making sure. But it's learning together, it's doing all of that sort of stuff. So you'll go over what their homework was, what they did, how they did it. Then you'll go into the second half of that session. So the first half is about last week, what they did, what didn't work, what did work, how they're going to fix it. Okay, bit of coaching might be necessary there. The second half of that 1 hour is, okay, what did you learn from this week's video? And you go around the group, what did everybody learn this week? It's not complex, pretty simple system. What did everybody learn? Great, what have you got to do based on that? Excellent. How are you going to implement it? What do you expect to see happening based on doing that? Biggest BFO of the session. Fantastic. Look forward to seeing you again next week. It's a pretty simple system. Simplicity at its best. Why? Because what we're doing is educating, holding accountable. Educating, holding accountable. Your facilitation is just accountability to taking action and making sure they do that.
That's brilliant. All right. Thank you very much indeed, Brad. That's a great insight. I really appreciate it. That's what the 12-week management training course is. You've got information from the horse's mouth. Thanks very much indeed to Brad for coming on and helping us today explain what the Action Coach 12-week management training course is about.
Program